Hi, today we are releasing a new feature called Rough Cut Capacity Planning. We are part of the Cloud ERP software, ACTouch ERP software. Uh, One of the problem we found in the industry is more towards the working load of the machine, or they also call it as machine scheduling plans. The challenge there is you have a lot of work orders that are running in parallel. Some are already missed the deadline. There are cases like new planned order everything, right? So the challenge is more on the PPC manager to ensure that he has the right amount of tools to take care of that. So as a part of our ACTouch Cloud ERP offering, we are releasing the product feature called Rough Cut Capacity Planning. The meaning of this is simple. It is a planned tool where the PPC manager has to look, monitor, and change or confirm the planned or change the existing work orders for the new dates. Okay. The decision is lying with the managers to decide which machine to be loaded today or which machine not to plan. That's what we focus here. So, this is also called a capacity requirement planning tool because there are two models we have. One is you just click on the rough cut capacity planning module and go into the workload planning. Then you change what exactly the planning you have to do. Some machine to be loaded, which work order, which product to be manufactured, you can take a decision. The second option is you run the MRP, material requirement planning tool. It gives you a specific planned order. Okay, that's what I'm mentioning over here. You define the MRP, you get a planned order. These are not confirmed. These appears on the capacity sheet or the dashboard. Then you confirm which order you want to do. This gives you a more flexibility of confirming the planned orders into the production purpose. Okay, so this is a new offering we have. Now, to run the capacity planning, there are a couple of things we need as a part of a precursor to set up the environment. One is the product masters, where the planning data required, like what is the lead time, what is the minimum order quantity, order multiples. Those are the parameter required from the MRP needs there. Second is the bill of material, which talks about the hierarchy of multiple level of products, like a finished good, work in progress, WIP1, WIP2 items, or multi-level bill of those kind of items. The third one is to identify where this activity going to happen, which is typically we call it as the work center or the machines. So you define the particular machine and what is the capacity of this machine for a particular finished good or a work in progress items. The fourth important item is the number of shifts, whether you have a first shift, second shift, third or general shifts, everything. Because when you are going to plan the machine loading, you need to tell the system how many shifts you run per day. Okay. Now, not the last but least one is the routing operation. Routing basically talks about the steps of production. For example, I'll give an example of, let's say, cycle. Now, to make a cycle, I have to build a body first, then the wheel assembly I need, cycle chain, everything. So these are the sub three finished goods. And these will add into my finished good, which is the assembly of a cycle. That means there are four operations. That is what they define as the routing operation. And each of these assembly will happen in a particular machine or in the work center. So that is what you have to mention in the system. Once it is defined here, the next one comes is the planning, MRP, material requirement planning. Once you run the planning, you have an option to identify the capacity. Okay. So with this background, let me log into our application. So this is our traditional, what you see as a application dashboard. There are many functionality. There are some approval mechanism, like for example, maker checker. There is one document has come for the approval pending the status. Or you may have a couple of tasks assigned to particular person. For example, create a purchase or something you can do. Or the next one is the workflow records. Workflow basically is multi-level, like a 4-5 layer of approvals need for a documentation, everything you can. So now what we do, we'll go back into the RCCP rough cut planning. This is our MRP dashboard. As I said, there are two ways. One is either you directly go to capacity planning module directly, or you run the MRP, and from the MRP planned order, you run the your capacity loading plan. Okay, so we go with the first step, RCCP planning. In my setup, I have already set up a machine, work centers. I have defined the bill of materials. I have defined the minimum quantity orders, everything. So with this, we go ahead with the planning screen. Now, this is the dashboard, what you see from the for the PPC manager. It talks about today's date. And for the next 30 or 40 days, what is your horizon of the planning you want to do? Whether 7 days, 20 days, 30 days, depending on the you can plan. It talks about the work center or the machine where the machine work is happening and what is the work orders are pending. So for example, in this case, this particular work order 17, this is already product, this is a finished good to be done. One of the operations is subcontract in, there is some other component is done. But unfortunately, this date is already missed. So these are all old work order, the pending to be completed. Same time, you see there is another work order 24, assembly of LED 30 number quantity. It is planned on the Tuesday in the first shift. Okay. So the idea behind this is you have an option to decide. These are the already confirmed order. These are not planned. Okay. Now let us say we want to change this subcontract one. We click on this guy, and we see the work order number, and these are the finished good data. While this is the operation where I have to work. So I say today is I say 24th and finish on 21 day, and we just save it. The moment you say that line will go and appear on the dashboard here. Now this is the confirmed order on the shift one. That's how the design is done. Okay. The idea behind this process is when you are doing the work center and the particular workload, you have the option to the when this going to do. In case on the same work order on the same date there is a conflict, it will come in another red color for you indicating. So the green means there is no conflict schedule. Red means there is a conflict in the schedule for the same work center. Like that, for example, there are some other work centers are here, different work orders and all you can see in the plan. Okay. Now this is the stage one which I explained. The second one is the MRP planning, where we run the planning MRP tool. Traditionally, we have a two module. One is the selective MRP. The second one is regenerative. Regenerative means we regenerate the complete demand in the company and see what is the workload, what is the stock required, what is the order fulfilled, those kind of data we regenerate. Selective is basically specific product we take. Here I have a product called MFG1. It has a multi-level and there is a demand I have created for the running the MRP planning. So we run the plan now. MRP is run. It talks about the planned order. Please note planned order different, confirmed order different. Okay. Now this is the finished good I need to produce. So and so 25 and I think it's the 10th March supposed to finish. These are the raw material to be procured. Traditionally, this raw material go as a purchase engine, while these items goes into the production purpose because these are all semi-finished goods and a finished goods. So what we do, from the after running MRP, you want to check capacity planning, you can click on it. Okay. So what we do is we select this and we go and do the capacity planning button here. And when you click on the capacity planning, it opens the same dashboard, which we already, if you remember, we just moved this to Monday, right? The same thing. But however, we have one more button called click to load the MRP data. The planning, what we did just now, those data is not yet loaded, right? So what we do, we just click on this. Once the data is loaded, you have to see the which is the work center. You see the another color, right? Different color. So this is the work center WIP on the particular, I think the 25th, 26th day. Okay. So there are different days are there and the workflows are loaded here different. Okay. Now, once the two work center of the data is coming here, What we do is we go back to the any one of this. Please note this is the planned order. We click on this. If it notes, it is a planned order for the finished good MFG1, if you remember, right? Now this is the routing ID that talks about the three separate assemblies. WIP1, WIP2, and the finished good assembly. So the challenge in this kind of scenario is we will have a problem of you cannot do only one work order confirmation because this particular item is part of the parent finished good routing ID. So all these three operations will, or the three WIP items will assembled into one item. So what we do, we have a different dates are there. 25th, I'll just 25th, I'll make it 26th, one day here. So this I'll make it as 27. Please note, all these are manually controlled because system doesn't know. It is planned one, but you are manually changing the date. See, earlier the dates came from the planned order. Now you are changing manually. Once it is done, you change and save it. Your complete order is confirmed. Now you see the green, the order date is confirmed. So the work order new, these are the old one. This is the new work order created for our item cutting operation, different dates. And it is talking about the complete setting and the due. This is the work order 24, 25, 64, single work order. You see here it's single work order, right? First operation, second, and the third. Okay, so this is how the planning or MRP planning. Please note these are the different work center. That's why the date is even though date wise the first, second, and third, it's a different work center loading is done. Okay, this is how the capacity planning works. And any questions you have, you can send a message to us, and we help you to do a better job. Okay, thanks a lot.